Vishnu Shashivarnan Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanan Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Yasya Dviradavakradyaha Parishadya Parashatam Vignanignanti Satatam Vishvaksenantamashraye
Yananandamayam devam Nirmala spatika kritim Adharam sarvavidyanam Hayagrivamupassmahe Pundarikasanasinam Pandura Brindusannibam Akantapothajanakam Hayagrivamupassmahe
Guru Bhyastad Guru Bhyascha Namo Vakamadhimahe Vranimahe Chatatra Dyau Dampati Jagatam Pati
Shri Krishna Vagishayatishvarabhyam Samprapta Chakrankana Bhashyasaram Shri Narangendra Yatal Samarpitasvam Shri Krishna Mariam Guru Varyamide Virode Kartike Mase Shatatara Kritodayam Yogacharyang Krishna Mariam Guru Varyamaham Bhaje.
Shishnyakam Krishna Yasya Nathavam Shapradipakam Kalyana Gunarupantam Shri Deshikam Namam Yaham Prashanta Purushakaram Viniyoga Pracharakam Vishesha Vaidikam Surim Tandeshikam Smaram Yaham Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Hari Om.
Caitlin, I think you're going to do Sahana. Yeah.
Caitlin?
Oh, sorry, I didn't know that came in now.
You're muted. Silence is golden.
Om Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavadhitamastu, ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you, Caitlin, Elizabeth, Patty. That was lovely. Let's see. So do you all have your Laghunyasa handout, either on the phone? Laghunyasa, for those of you, has anyone not experienced it? Most of you have. Tim, have you ever had any experience with Laghunyasa? I copied it out verbatim from our Vedic chant book, Mantra Valli. And the explanation given at the beginning of this, contained in the Taittiriya Brahmana Kartika, this chant entreats the natural elements to sustain the organs and functions of the human system. It can be chanted by or to assist persons suffering from ill health. So I thought this would be nice for all of us, not that, hoping we're not suffering from ill health, but it can protect us from it as well. Just a word about some of the words. Agni is fire. Vach is speech. Hridaye means in the heart. And if you'll notice that the second line of every verse is the same. So just repeat after me. I'm going to do the second line because that's kind of the refrain. Hridayam mayi. Hridayam mayi. Aham amrite. Aham amrite. Amritam brahmani. Amritam brahmani. Heart in me, hridayam mayi. Aham amrite. I am in the nectar of immortality. That nectar, amritam, is in Brahman. So it's a way of saying that every body part is with or a part of Brahman. I, as the whole of all my body parts and including my spirit, am part of Brahman. So now we'll begin with number one. I'll do it through twice, the whole two lines. Okay. Om Agnir me vachi shritaha vagridaye hridayam mayi aham amrite amritam brahmani. This time, the second time, I'll do it a little more softly so you can hear yourself more. Agnir me vachi shritaha vagridaye hridayam mayi aham amrite amritam brahmani. Before we move on to the second stanza, does anyone need to, or would anyone like to repeat the first stanza? Or are you okay to move on? If you want to move on, put your thumbs up. Okay. Vayurme prane shritaha prano hridaye hridayamayi ahamamrite amritam brahmani vayurme prane shritaha prano hridaye hridayamayi ahamamrite amritam brahmani. Moving on to the third verse. I'll just keep going like this. And if you decide you'd like to repeat something, go over anything at all, please speak up, unmute yourself and say so, because otherwise we'll just move on. So actually, number 2, vayu means the wind in me, the breath in me. So the wind supports the breath in me. The third stanza discusses the sun and sight. We see by the light of the sun. Chakshuhu. Suryo me chakshushi shritaha chakshur hridaye hridayamayi ahamamrite amritam brahmani suryo me chakshushi shritaha chakshur hridaye hridayamayi ahamamrite amritam brahmani. Now the moon affecting the mind. So we are invoking the moon and the energy of the moon to help us maintain a sound mind. Chandrama me manasi shritaha mano hridaye hridayamayi ahamamrite amritam brahmani chandrama me manasi shritaha mano hridaye hridayamayi ahamamrite amritam brahmani. Dishaha is direction. North, south, east, west, forward, back, to the right, to the left, up and down. And our ears are associated with direction. When we hear a sound, we are invoking the powers of the direction or the elements contained in direction to help us be clear in our hearing where the sound comes from. Desho me shrotre shritaha shrotra gung hridaye hridayam mayi aham amrite amritam brahmani disho me shrotre shritaha shrotra gung hridaye hridayam mayi aham amrite amritam brahmani. So just notice, I just want to point out at the end of the top line in number 5, shrotra gung. So these M's with the dot are anusvara. In Vedic chant, whenever anusvara is followed by a ha, as in hridaye, or sometimes a sibilant, that shrotram will change to a shrotragung. So the changes to gung before the ha or the sibilant. Hence, instead of chanting Shrotram Hridaye or Shrotrang Hridaye, we are taught to put a g in there preceding the and the changes to the ng sound, because that then we are ready, we're right there for the ha. It's all in the throat. So then we end up with Shrotra gung hridaye. Let's all do just that together. Shrotra gung hridaye. So were you all able to feel those sounds in the throat? Gung hr, ha. Then it moves on to position 3. I just wanted to point that out. Moving on to number 6. Water and semen, organs of the fluids for reproduction. Apo me reta sishritaha reto hridaye hridayam mayi aham amrite amritam brahmani. Apo me reta sishrita reto hridaye hridayam mayi aham amrite amritam brahmani. Oh, let's move on to the next page. The earth, Prithvi, Sharire. So my body, Shariram. Shariram literally means that which decays. As we get older, things decay. I'm feeling it in my eyes. My eyesight is not what it was 20 years ago. So here in this verse, the earth is, we are invoking the energy of the earth to support and nourish our body, the whole body. Prithvi me sharire shrita sharira gung hridaye hridayam mayi aham amrite, amritam brahmani. Because this is quite new, we're going to repeat this twice. So 2 more times. Prithivi me sharire shrita shariragum hridaye hridayam mayi aham amrite amritam brahmani prithivi me sharire shrita shariragum hridaye hridayam mayi aham amrite amritam brahmani. Number 8, the plants and the herbs, and the forest. Oshadhi, the plants, the herbs. Vanas, the vana is the forest. Patayaha, the sounds like the Lord, or the lords of the forest and the herbs. And lomasu, in the hairs, loma, the hair. We all recall from our yoga practice in pranayama, anuloma and viloma. Anuloma along with the hair, viloma against the hair. So he's likening hair on the body is like the plants growing out of the earth. A lot of vocabulary to absorb and digest. Oh, excuse me. Oh, shadhivanaspatayo me. Let's do that again. That's a mouthful. Are you getting those SH sounds, those third mouth position? Sha. And then sa, that's at the teeth. O shadhivanaspatayo me loma sushrita. Let's do that whole phrase again. O shadhivanaspatayo me loma sushrita. Continuing. Loma nihridaye. Let's repeat that. Loma nihridaye. Hridayam mayi aham amrite amritam brahmani. We'll repeat that twice through. I'll raise the pitch. Let's see what happens. Raising the pitch, raising the stakes. O shadhivanas patayo me loma sushrita loma nihridaye hridayam mayi aham amrite amritam brahmani. O shadhivanaspatayo me loma sushrita loma nihridaye hridayam mayi aham amrite Amritam Brahmani. We'll do one more today. Indra, Indro me bale. May Lord Indra give me strength. Bala is strength, force. So the thunderbolt god Indra, if I invoke the powers of Indra, may I be strong. Indro me bale shritaha balagung hridaye. Let's repeat that twice through. Indro me bale shritaha balagung hridaye. Indro me bale shritaha balagung hridaye. And then hridayamaye. Hridayamaye aham amrite amritam brahmani. Before leaving Laghunyasa, let's repeat from number 5 through 9. Because these verses are new to many of us. We might have done Disho, but it's not that familiar. And we'll just do it once through from 5 through 9. Om Disho me shrotre shritaha shrotra gung hridaye hridayamaye aham amrite amritam brahmani. Apo me retasi shritaha reto hridaye hridayamaye aham amrite amritam brahmani. Prithvi me sharire shrita sharira gung hridaye hridayamaye aham amrite amritam brahmani. Indro me bale shritaha balagung hridaye hridayamaye aham amrite amritam brahmani. Softly to ourselves, just hridayamayi through the end of that line. Om hridayamayi aham amrite amritam brahmani. So next
We've got one, Leslie.
I beg your pardon?
we forgot one. We forgot Oshadi.
Oh, did we? I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
I skipped, I went all the way to Indro. I thought it seemed short. Okay, we need Oshadi. Thank you. Here we go. Oshadi vanaspatayo me loma sushritaha loma nihridaye hridayamayi ahamamrite amritam brahmani. Do we all feel more complete now? Thank you very much. I'm so sorry. Just poof.
I was kind of relieved. That one's hard.
Oh, Shadi Vanaspatayo me lo. Yeah. Yeah, it has some tricky parts. It's just sometimes when all the letters are together like that and it looks long, long translates to difficult. Sometimes, not always. It's just a matter of getting used to it and practicing it. Is there anything, before we leave it, do you have any comments or let me know if you have a favorite one today, because it could change, or one that you find particularly challenging, or one you might hope never to encounter again, depending. There are chants like that for me. Do you have anything to say on the matter?
I have a question.
Sure.
I'm not sure. I want to make sure I understood you correctly. When you said about in verse number 5, where it says Shrotragunga Hridaye, are you saying that the word is Shrotram, but because you have the ha after it, it becomes Shrotragung?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the word
So what that's telling me, at least in this, is telling me that the original word is Shrotram. Shrotram.
Okay, that's what I thought you said.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry if I misspoke about something. And the gung, it has to be in the throat, the after the ga. Shrotra gung, gung. And you know, if you get used to it, it's a very pleasurable action. It's enjoyable. It's gung. It's like expressing a gong, but gung. It's kind of, there's something pleasurable to that. There is something childlike to chanting. Maybe that's why I'm drawn to it. It's like, anyway, was that clear? Did that clarify?
Yeah. So that's the same Sunday that I was listening to the video of the Gayatri and the I forget what you call them, the Om Bahur, Om Bubaha. In the beginning, then it became Om Gung Suvaha. That's the same Sunday.
Yes, it's exactly the same rule, because suvaha, the sa is a sibilant sound. It's at the teeth, but still oh gun. But you know, Elizabeth, we in that case we don't do the part of gung when it precedes suvaha. Suvaha's at the teeth, but we don't do gun. We don't do the N at the teeth, do we?
Yeah, we do gung suvaha.
So gung back at the throat. Okay, yeah. Okay. I just, suddenly that question came up while you were mentioning it, while you brought that up. Let's go to our books and let's go to our Nirvana Satkam, page 91. Who remembers how far we got? I don't remember. Was it on page 92? I think we did the top one on 92. But if we could just start there, actually. Name Dvesha Ragao. It's wonderful how when we learn the Yoga Sutras, we're really enriching our Sanskrit vocabulary. And here from the Yoga Sutras in the, the things that trouble the heart that begin chapter 2, all the things that darken the heart, as Desikachar would put it, raga and dvesha. So they're all right here in this verse. And lobha and moha, those are all some of our enemies, greed and delusion. Matsarya. I forget what matsarya. Does anyone know offhand what matsarya means? Matsari. Bhavaha. Mado. Anyway, let's chant it. Om. Name dvesha ragau, name lobha mohau, name vaimado, naiva matsarya bhavaha, na dharmo, na charto, na kamo, na mokshaha, chidananda rupaha, shivoham, shivoham. We'll repeat that. Is there any part of that that you'd like to just go over by itself before we just repeat it? Good. Okay. Om Name dvesha ragau, name lobha mohau, name vaimado, naiva matsarya bhavaha, na dharmo, na charto, na kamo, na mokshaha, chidananda rupaha, shivoham, shivoham. A word about Visarga Sandhi on the very last line. When I do it slowly, I run out of breath. So therefore, Chidananda Rupaha. And then I take a breath and then Shivoham, Shivoham. But if we were to do it faster and we could do that line in one breath, the Rupaha needs to change to the Rupa sh, as though it were a double sh sound preceding Shiva or bringing Shivo in it. So it would be Chidananda Rupa Shivoham, Shivoham, or Shivoham, Shivoham. This is not a Vedic chant, as I've mentioned before, and therefore we're not quite as strict with the rules of chanting. There can be some give and take. So we chanted that twice. Let's move to the next one. Napunyan na papan na saukyan na dukham. This is a great example of anusvara sandhi, the sandhi. I was trying to remember if I was with you or another group when I was mentioning the sandhya, the twilight and the times of day. Was that with all of you on a Tuesday? I couldn't remember.
Yes, we definitely talked about that, Leslie.
Okay, so the sandhya, and I came across in my mind, for me, sandhi, of course, it's this wonderful and very, in the beginning, could be very frustrating rule of Sanskrit because everything can undergo a change depending on the end of a word and the beginning of the next word. And sometimes inside a word, there can be a sandhi. But I was also thinking of sandhi as changes that occur. It's like if we had some watercolors and we painted blue with one brush, and then we took another brush and we painted red. And then if we mixed the blue and the red, there's a blending, and that blending brings us a totally different color, a purple. And so sound is like that, especially in Sanskrit. So I just thought I would share that and see what you thought of that. Occurrence. So the top line, napunyam, napapam, nasaukyam. Oh, that's a fun one. Everyone say saukyam. Saukyam. Now remember, whenever we have a mahaprana sound, which is NEHUC, you utilize your abdomen. Sit straight up and tall and draw the abdomen in strongly towards your spine. So it's saukyam. Saukyam. That's happiness. And nadukham. My goodness, there's a lot of visarga and anusvarya, but for a moment now, let's focus on visarga. Napunyam na. That can change easily to napunyanna. So the na begins at the teeth, and therefore punyam should end at the teeth. So that nasal sound goes to the teeth. Napunyanna. And then again, papam changes to papan. And if you want to use a pencil and write in an N in those places to just tell your tongue to move to the teeth, by all means do so. So it would be napunyan, napapan, nasaukyan, nadukham. And as we come to the end of the line, we can just we can have it end at the lips, as you see written. And in the second line, in the middle, natirtan navedo. So the same thing, natirtan navedo, nayagnyaha. Oh, that JN, that stumps people. Yagnyaha, yagnyaha. And then in the third line, aham bhojanan naiva. Bhojanan naiva. There's that dental, we bring the dental sound into the end of bhojanam. Bhojanam. And bhojyanna. So all at the teeth. Nabhokta. Okay, so it's going to be like this. Om napunyan napapan nasaukyan nadukham namantro natirthan navedo nayagnyaha. Aham bhojanan naiva bhojyanna bhokta chidananda rupaha shivoham shivoham. I'll raise the pitch and we'll do it again. Om napunyan napapan nasaukyan nadukham namantro natirthan navedo nayagnyaha. Aham bhojanannaiva bhojyanna bhokta chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham. Let's move to the next one. Neither death nor fear. Would someone read out loud for us the translation? Actually, read the last two we just did, like and dislike, and then read the next two translations. Who needs to speak? It's English.
Well, I guess
I can do that.
Okay, Sandra, let's hear it. And you do the first two, and
Like
Tim can
and
do the third one.
dislike are not mine. Okay.
Oh.
Like and dislike are not mine. Greed and, is that right?
Yeah,
Did I do the wrong?
no, that was absolutely right. Very good English
Greed and
pronunciation.
Greed and confusion not mine. Neither pride nor envy is mine. Not dharma and not purpose. Not desire, not liberation. My nature is the bliss of pure consciousness. I am Shiva. I am Shiva.
Yes, you
Neither
are.
virtue nor neither virtue nor sin, not happiness, not suffering. Neither mantra nor pilgrimage, neither knowledge nor ritual. I am neither the enjoying what is enjoyed, nor the enjoyer. My nature is the bliss of pure consciousness. I am Shiva. I am Shiva.
Tim, would you read the next one? Thank you, Sandra.
Certainly, neither death, nor fear, nor social class, neither father, nor mother, nor birth is mine, nor relation, nor friend, nor guru, nor student. My nature is the bliss of pure consciousness. I am Shiva. I am Shiva.
Thank you. Om Namrityurna Shankana Me Jati Bhedaha Pita Naiva Me Naiva Mata Na Janma Na Bandhur Na Mitram Gurur Naiva Shishyaha Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. In terms of sandhis, this verse is pretty straightforward. Mitram. There is an Anusvara Sandhi in the third line. Mitram, friend, the Mitra. Mitram Gurur. That can change that nasal sound, the if you throw that back to the throat, an NG sound, then you'll be right there to pronounce the gu of Gurur. Nabandhur namit Mitrang Naiva Shishyaha. So everyone just say Mitrang Gurur. Mitrang Gurur. Mitrang Gurur. And a word about Visarga Sandhi. I've been trying to prepare some things for this Saturday Bhagavad Gita group in terms of the rules of chanting. And there's Visarga, and then of course I've mentioned a lot, well, Visarga and Anusvara. what I've noticed in the transliteration is Visarga has already undergone change for us in many of the words. In other words, what I'm saying is, let's take that third line, and it could be the first line. Nabandhu. Originally, that word bandhur is bandhu, which means friend or relation. And mitrang guru and guruhu. Guruhu originally is G-U-R-U-H with a dot under it, if we're looking at that. However, the sandhi has been given to us already. So if we did not have sandhi, that third line would sound like this. Nabandhuhu namitram guruhu naiva shishyaha. It's choppy, and you'd have to take a lot of breaths, and it probably serves only the purpose of exhausting the chanter. So we don't want to get into a tamasic state at the end, or as a result of being in a rajasic state, just trying to chant the darn thing. So that's why. But it's, I hadn't really taken note of the fact that a lot of the anusvaras we have to do when we're reading, but a lot of the visargas have already been done for us. So in other words, we'll rarely see a word by itself ending in an R. If it ends in an R, it usually means it used to be an H with a dot under it. Just to let you know.
Leslie, is that the same for the Guru Stotram that's in the chant book?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Because as far as I know, it's in Sanskrit too. Let's repeat that one before moving on to the next one. Om Namrityurna Shanka Name Jati Bhedaha Pita Naiva Me Naiva Mata Na Janma Na Bandhur Na Mitrang Gurur Naiva Shishyaha Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. And would someone else please read the English translation at the bottom of page 93?
I am beyond mental conditions, formless, and by pervading everything, everywhere, there is no attachment of any of the senses, nor am I even the release from bondage, nor measurable. My nature is the bliss of pure consciousness. I am Shiva. I am Shiva.
Indeed you are, Andy. It's nice to see you and hear you. Now let's see if there are any chanting surprises in this one. Aham nirvikalpo. The anusvara aham, so we should put that at the end of aham. We could change that to the teeth. Aham nirvikalpo nirakara rupo vibhutva Chasarvatra sarvendriyanam nacha sangatan. Again, anusvara. Cha sangatan at the teeth again. You can write an N there. Cha sangatan naiva muktir nameyaha. So let's try this one. Om Aham nirvikalpo nirakara rupo vibhutva cha sarvatra sarvendriyanam nacha sangatan naiva nameyaha Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. Let's repeat it. Aham nirvikalpo nirakara rupo vibhutva cha sarvatra sarvendriyanam nacha sangatan naiva muktirnameyaha chidananda rupaha shivoham shivoham. Getting to be close to time to close. Does anybody know offhand what page the Brahma, here it is, Shri Guru Stotram. I wanted to just take a look at that before leaving. I would love to borrow the melody that Shubhraji does. Let's just take the first verse.
What page is this?
Sorry, it's on page 88 in my booklet. Hopefully I've got the same kind one you have. Shri Guru Stotram. Shubhraji's melody goes something like this. Akhanda mandalakaram Vyaptan yena characharam tat padandarshitan yena tasmai shri gurave namaha. So let's do that. I'll do it piecemeal, call and response. Akhanda mandalakaram Akhanda mandalakaram. Let's do it a third time. Akhanda mandalakaram. So are you getting that third mouth position? The tongue moving to the top of your palate, the hard palate for khanda, anda, manda, nda. When we understand where that tongue goes, and that when the tongue is learning to master going there with ease, there can be great pleasure with that. So let's see if we can derive pleasure from just that phrase. Once more. Akhanda mandalakaram. Are we having enjoyment? Patty's rocking.
Well, I practiced this one from the album and I never did that before. And it's like a different experience. You're right.
Oh, wow. Yeah. The recording is you just have to keep up. And she's beautiful. We'll move on. Vya, that wonderful V, the gentle marriage of the front top teeth to the lower lip. When I was originally taught this, Vyas made a distinction between our English V, which is quite pronounced, and the Sanskrit Va, which is much gentler. There's still the same contact, but it's gentle. It's a gentle touch of the lower lip to the front top teeth. Vyaptanyena, and here the Anusvara Sandhi has us go vyaptanya, moving to the soft palate. Vyaptanyena, vyaptanyena. And if that ever is difficult for you to do, just see if you can remember to broaden your mouth into a smile just before doing yena. So it would be vyaptanyena, vyaptanyena. And then we're home free with characharam, characharam. Let's do that line together. Akhanda mandalakaram, vyaptanyena characharam. Then to the second line, tat padam darshitanyena. Oh my, 2 anusvara sandhis. Tat padan to the teeth. Tat padan darsh. And then at the end of darshitan, we go back to the soft palate so that we're with the Y sound, the ya. So to put those together, tat padan darshitanyena. And Shubraji chants that, and I know the na is supposed to be short, but what she's doing, I feel relieved there. We have a rest when we go na, we get to catch our breath. So, you know, it may not be absolutely correct because we're elongating a short vowel, but there's poetic license, let's say. And if Shubraji does it, then we're allowed to do it. That's all I can say. That's all I have to say about that. And then at the end, tasmai shri. Now with a long vowel, it's more permissible to do that. Tasmai shri gurave namaha. And the namaha, that abdominal support at the very end. So that line goes, tat padan darshitanyena, tasmai shri gurave namaha. And if you look at the rest quickly, the second line at the ending, it's all the same. These Sanskritists, these people who either heard the verses and then wrote them down or created them, they loved repetition. And so repetition enables us to get it right, to perfect, to refine, because we just repeat it. Let's do this one verse twice through. Are there any questions first? Okay. Om Akhanda mandala karam. I apologize. I wasn't reading and I lost my train of thought. Here we go. Om Akhanda mandala karam vyaptanyena characharam tat padan darshitanyena tasmai shri gurave namaha. Akhanda mandalakaram vyaptanyena characharam tat padan darshitanyena tasmai shri gurave namaha. So the invocation has the closing requests for forgiveness. Elizabeth, would you kindly chant the first one, and then I'll just chant the Kayena. And everyone chant with Elizabeth and with me, and hopefully you can all, one at a time, be able to chant this for us in the group. Just want you to gain your confidence.
Yadaksharapadabrashtam matrahinantu yad bhavet tatsarvang shyam yatan deva Narayana namostute Shrimate Narayanaya namo namaha.
Kayena vacha manasendriyairva buddhyatmanava prakrite swabhavat karomi yad sakalam parasmai Narayana yeti samarpayami sarvam shri krishnarpanamastu. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful week. I will see a few
You
of you on
too.
Friday. Thank you, Liz.
Thanks, everyone. See you later.